Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So we're gonna jump straight into the video. So this is part three. Yeah, part three of my solo trip gone wrong story time. So I left off on part two, where I was doing Powder's hair and he was doing a he was doing a whole lot of business transactions and I was beginning to feel uncomfortable. So, by me feeling uncomfortable, I just wanted to hurry up and finish his hair because in my mind, I was like, okay, even though he's doing these transactions like in the bedroom, I like in my mind, I was like, okay, well, if I hurry up and finish his hair, then like he'll probably take all of that stuff in the, I guess, living room, kitchen area, and he can do all of that out there. So after I finished his hair, surprisingly, he didn't have any more like transactions or anything like that to do. He pretty much was like, "What time are you gonna go to sleep?" Because it's like a little past midnight around this time. So I told him, I was like, "Well, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to sleep now because Wayne is already asleep, and then like we gotta wake up in a few hours because he has to drive me to the airport in the morning." And then he was like, damn. So then I asked him, I was like, well, why? Like, why do you ask? He was like, man, because I'm finna go outside and like kick it for a little bit. And I'm gonna need somebody to open the door for me. And since he's asleep, I was gonna ask you to stay up so that you could open the door for me and let me back in. So I was like, oh, okay, well then, yeah, I mean, like, I'll stay up because, like, who else is finna let you back in? So he was like, all right, well, here, let's exchange numbers real quick. Like, give me your number and I'm gonna give you mine. So when I'm ready to come back in, like, I'm gonna call you in case you do fall asleep because I don't know how long I'm finna be outside. So we exchange numbers. I start putting away like the lock and twist gel, the clips, the rubber bands. Like I start putting all of that stuff away and like he puts his hat back on. Even though I did his retwist, he still had the clips in his hair. But he didn't want like his locks hanging down. So he had the clips in his hair and he put his hair like back in a ponytail with the clips still in it. And then he put the hat on, I assumed to hide that bald spot that he had. So he was like, all right, well, I'm finna head out. Like, I'm gonna just call you when I need you to come open the door. I'm like, all right, cool. So he leaves and he leaves and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like I was kind of sort of feeling some type of way that Wayne was still asleep because granted, even though like when I was doing Powder's hair, I was like, damn, like it sucks that I came out all this way and I wanted to have a good time and we did in the beginning, but like once it started getting like later in the night, like Wayne said that he was tired because he was out in Queens the previous night and he wanted to get some sleep, this, that, and the third. And I was just like, dang, because not only that, but like with me missing my flight and all of that, like on Friday, I was like, I really didn't have that much time to spend out here. We really didn't do much. Like, I don't know. So I was really just walking around his apartment, and then I was like, all right, like, I'm just finna go get into bed, scroll on my phone, that sort of thing. So that's what I did. I go and I lay next to Wayne, and I'm just in the room scrolling through my phone. And I kind of did want to go to sleep, but I was like, nah, I might as well stay up since Powder is gonna need me to open the door when he's ready to come back in. So some time goes by. I get a phone call from Powder, and he's like, "Hey, I'm downstairs. I'm standing in front of the door. Like, can you come open it for me?" So I tell him, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way down." So I go downstairs, and I don't know if I explained this to y'all in the first video, but pretty much how the downstairs area looks is that as soon as you get to the bottom of the stairs, there's the front desk, and then you walk down a little bit more, and then there's like the lobby part. And then if you walk a little bit more, it's like it's a door, but then it leads to another door, and then that second door is the main door that like people enter in and out of. And you need a key to get into both doors because both doors are always locked. So because I knew this, I was just like, all right, well, like when I walk out of the first door, like I'm still gonna hold the door because we're gonna need to, like both of us are gonna need to get back in. I held the first door and then I just opened, like I pulled open the second door. So at first, when I got down there and I opened the second door, like I didn't see him, and I assumed he was standing off to the side because as soon as I opened the door, he came around the corner, but he wasn't alone. I noticed that he had two girls with him, and the first girl, she would give her a name. We're not going to give her a name right now because at the time I didn't realize, like, I didn't know who she was. So he was with a heavyset girl, a heavyset black girl, and he was with a skinny white girl. But it looked as though the heavyset girl was, I don't know, his girlfriend or some girl he was talking to, but it's pretty clear that she was there for him, and then the white girl was her friend. So as I'm holding the door open, for him to come in, like she's looking at me, and like she didn't have like no type of like look on her face, but she's just looking at me. I guess because she didn't know who I was, she never seen me before, so I assumed that's why she was looking at me. And then when he noticed, like, oh shit, like she's looking, clearly he didn't explain to her who I was like until that moment. So once he saw her looking, he was like, oh, like this is Bree, like she came down here, like she's from Maryland, she's chilling with like Wayne, but like that nigga sleep, so I call her down here so that she can come open the door for me. So the heavyset girl, she was like, oh, that's okay, like it's cool, I'm not really tripping on that. So he was like, all right, bet that. So then they start like cupcaking. They start cupcaking, like he's like, oh, I love you, I'm gonna see you later. She's like, I love you too, like make sure you call me. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna miss you. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna miss you too. And I'm thinking to myself, like, can y'all niggas hurry up? Like not to be rude or nothing. So I'm literally standing in the middle, holding both of these doors open so that they don't close, so that me and him can still get back into the main part of the building when he's done. So it's like I'm literally standing here with my arms stretched wide, holding the doors, like thinking, like, oh my God, would these two hurry up? So after they're done doing that, he comes inside. I wave goodbye to the girl, and me and him walk in. So as we're walking in, we're not really having no conversation. He did ask me. He was like, is Wayne still asleep or is he awake now? And I was like, nah, he's still asleep. Like, he been asleep this whole time. This, that, and the third. He was like, damn, that sucks. Like, I know you probably feel some type of way about that. And then I told him, I was like, I do, because like I came out all this way to, spend time with him, chill with him, set in the third. And we really didn't do much. Like, he really been sleeping all night long. He was like, yo, he probably just tired. Like, I mean, he was out in Queens all night. Like, did he tell you that? And I was like, yeah, he did tell me that he was in Queens all night, and that was the reason why he's tired. But I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. So we continue to talk about that as we get upstairs to the apartment. So we walk inside the apartment. I go, like, I don't go into the bedroom, but I kind of stand in the doorway because I didn't know if Wayne was still asleep or he was awake yet. But he was still asleep when I went in there, so I'm just like, all right, cool. So me and Powder, we go to the kitchen. So we're sitting in the kitchen, we're sitting at the table, we're just talking, chopping it up. Of course, he's doing his lines and shit, like per usual. And then he starts telling me about the girl. So he starts telling me that he like her, like they've been talking for a minute now. He started asking me about like me and Wayne, like what, like basically if we liked each other. We were talking like what's going on with that. So then I pretty much kind of sort of gave him the full rundown, but not really. Like, I didn't go into anything about crazy and how she was like waiting outside his door or how she was circling the block. Like, I didn't go into any of that. So I pretty much start telling him like, oh yeah, we only been talking for a little bit. Like, I mean, he's cool. Like, this trip was to see if we would progress, into anything further. And he was like, okay, so like, what's up? Like, do you like him like that? Like, do you want to talk to him further? And I'm telling him, I'm like, not really, because Powder is cool with him and this is his homeboy. I know that 9 times out of 10 he's gonna go back and tell him what I said. Like, I figured that. But I was also like, okay, it's no need of me to lie. Like, what I gotta lie for? You feel me? So I told him, I was like, nah, like, I don't really think this is gonna go anywhere further. Like, I don't know, like, he just got a lot going on, and I feel like I don't want to be involved. I don't want to put myself in that situation, this, that, and the third. So he's telling me that he get that, he understand this, that, and the third, right? So the Henny, the bottle of Henny was still sitting on the table from earlier in that day. So I start pouring some Henny in the cup. So now we're taking shots. He's doing the lines, like, this, that, and the third. And then he starts telling me about, like, his life and stuff like that. I don't want to say his life story, but he just starts telling me about his situation with, like, his baby mom and, stuff that happened to him, his life, and stuff like that. So we're talking about stuff like that, and like he starts telling me stuff, I start telling him stuff. And I'm not gonna say I don't know what happened because I know exactly what happened. Like, it gets to a point in the conversation where it's pretty obvious that he's feeling me at this point. Like, it's pretty obvious that he thinks I'm cool, he likes me, whatever the case may be. And now he starts talking about wanting to. I'm trying to keep this PG. He wants to go to third base, but not go all the way, if that makes sense. He wanted to do me, like, use your imagination, read between the lines, people. And at first, of course, I was against it because I guess you could say I'm talking to Wayne. Wayne is asleep in the other room, like, you feel me? Of course, I was against it at first, telling him, like, nah, like, we can't do that, like, you're his friend, da da da, second and the third, right? So he ended up convincing me. And I think I mentioned in the last video that the living room had, like, this futon type of couch thing. So I take off my leggings, spread my legs wide. No. I let him do exactly what he said he wanted to do, right? But once again, just like Wayne, this nigga is doing the freaking most, right? He's doing the most. Like, I'm trying to be quiet because Wayne is in the other room. Like, you feel me? So I'm trying to be quiet. This nigga is doing the most, talking about, like, he literally said, like, be louder, like, what you finna do if this nigga hear us, and he come, like, he wake up and he come out of his room and see us, and all this stuff like that. But, like, he wasn't saying it as if he was worried about it. He was saying it as if that's exactly what he wanted to happen. Like, he wanted Wayne to hear us. He wanted Wayne to wake up and come out of his room and, like, see his head between my legs. Like, that's exactly what this man wanted, because he kept saying stuff like that over and over again, and it was almost as if he was excited about it. Like, he was excited, like, oh my god, this nigga's gonna catch us. Like, he was so excited about that. And I was like, nah, like, we need to be quiet, because my whole thing is, like, first of all, I'm not from here. Second of all, Wayne still has to take me to the airport in the morning. So if he comes out here and see, like, I was going through the worst case scenario. I was like, if he comes out here and sees us, he's probably gonna throw my bags down the stairs. Like, I don't know. He's gonna put me out at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you feel me? How am I gonna get to the airport in the morning? Like, it was just a lot of stuff. And I was just like, nah, like, so I'm still trying to be quiet, right? After we get done with that, now he wants to go all the way. He wants to, like, do everything. So I'm like, all right. I mean, because at that point it was like, I already let you do that. Like, we might as well. You feel me? So we go ahead, do that. This nigga is still doing the most, trying to be all loud so that Wayne could hear us. Like, oh my god. And the whole time, like, what was going through my mind is that I was, like, thinking, like, oh, I hope he don't hear us. Like, I hope he don't wake up. Like, stuff like that, right? So when we get done, of course, like, we put our clothes on and stuff like that. So I go straight to the bathroom. When I come out the bathroom, Powder is sitting at the kitchen table doing more lines. And I'm thinking, like, what in the world? Like, he been sniffing that shit ever since he got here. He been sniffing that shit. None of those things were happening to Powder. Clearly he does this on a daily basis, because he was just sniffing and sniffing and sniffing and sniffing the entire time I was there. And I was so like, I was so perplexed. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is not real life. Like, I don't know. Like, something is seriously going on with this dude. So, boom. So, after. So after we finished that and everything like that, well, not we, sorry, not we, after he finishes that, after he finishes that, now regret is starting to sink in. Regret is starting to sink in. I'm starting to feel bad. And I was just like, I was telling him, like, all right, well, I'm finna go to bed now because Wayne should be waking up in like the next 2 hours to take me to the airport. Because not only did I set my alarm, but I believe he set his alarm as well. So Powder was like, he was like, all right, well, what time is it? So I checked my phone and I'm like, it's 3 o'clock. So he was like, all right, well, bet, like, I'm finna go back outside for a little bit. I was going to ask him like if he needed me to stay up so that I can come and open the door for him again, like I had previously done. But like I said, regret was setting in. I started to feel bad. I started to feel some type of way. Like I didn't know if he was gonna tell Wayne what happened, being that he was so excited that he wanted this nigga to hear us. Like he wanted Wayne to hear us. He wanted him to come out and catch us. So my whole thing was like, did he like was he gonna tell Wayne? Like was he gonna tell him what happened? And that started to make me nervous. So because of that, I was thinking to myself, like, all right, well, if he don't say like, oh, I need you to come open the door for me, like you feel me, then I'm not gonna ask him. Like if he don't say it, I'm not gonna ask. So I just let him walk out the door. Like he wanted to leave, I let him walk out the door. I go in the room and I climb in the bed next to Wayne. And honestly, at that point, I wasn't really sleepy because I had been up majority of the night. But I was like, yo, like I'm gonna have to get some sleep. Like, ugh, this whole entire time that I was here just really blew me. So I plugged my phone into the charger, and now I'm just laying down scrolling through my phone, right? So some time passes by, and I'm like, all right, well, I really need to go to sleep now. So I turn over and I go to sleep. So, um, in the middle of the night, I'm woken up by a sound, right? And I hear, yo, yo. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I open my eyes and I look around the room. The room is pitch black dark. I turn over, Wayne is still asleep, and I hear it again. Yo, yo. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then I realize that the sound is coming from the window outside. But I'm like, nah, I'm not finna get up to see who it is. Like, I'm not from here. This is not my apartment. Like, who knows? It might be an axe murderer out the window or something like that looking for victims. Like, I don't know. It might be crime taking place outside and they see me and see that I'm a witness and now they come in here trying to blow my head off. Like, I don't know. But either way, I was not finna go look out that window to see who it was. Absolutely not. So I lay back down and I'm thinking like, well, hopefully they stop. Like whoever it is, hopefully they stop. You feel me? So eventually they do stop and I go back to sleep. So a few hours later, my alarm goes off. I wake up. Wayne is already waking up. Like he's waking up at the sound of my alarm and his alarm because he set his as well. So he fixed that, child. So as he gets up, he goes to the bathroom, like, and obviously he didn't hear us last night, and I'm only making that assumption because he was still the exact same way that he was the whole day that I was there before he had went to sleep. Like he was chilling, kind, nice, like you feel me? There was no type of animosity or anything like that. He walks into the kitchen and he's like, "Where's Powder?" And I was like, I don't know. He left last night. So then Wayne, he was like, he left. What time did he leave? And I was like, well, like 3 o'clock this morning. So he was like, did he say where he was going? And I was like, nah, like he just said that he was leaving. He just said he was leaving. Like that's all that he said. So he was like, did he say he was coming back? And I'm like, no, like he didn't say anything like that. He just said he was leaving. I told him I was going to sleep. And he said okay, and he left. So he comes back into the bedroom. He picks up his phone, and I assume he's calling Wayne because he picks up his phone, does something on it, puts the phone to his ear, takes it off his ear, does the same thing, puts it back up to his ear, and then takes it off his ear. He's like, yo, what the fuck? This nigga ain't answering his phone. Like, where the fuck did this nigga go? So now he's looking out the window, right? He's looking out the window. He didn't see him. So now he's walking back into like the living room, kitchen area. Then he comes back again, right? And at this point, I'm getting up and I wanted to take a shower, but I didn't have time because clearly we were finna go to the airport. He was finna drop me off at the airport. So I start packing my stuff, making sure that I have everything, making sure I'm not leaving everything. And while I'm doing this, he's getting dressed, but he also like keeps trying to make a phone call on his phone, and he's still like looking out the window. He was like, damn, where the fuck did this nigga go? Why would he leave like that? And he keeps pacing back and forth, like, like getting his stuff together, but still trying to figure out where Powder went. And then all of a sudden, I hear it again outside, out of the window. Yo, yo. And then I realized it's the exact same voice that I heard the previous night. Like, that woke me up out of my sleep. So Wayne goes over to the window, right? He goes over to the window. Remember how I said that he had like an AC unit in the window, but like you can still see out of like the top part and shit like that? So he lifts up the window a little bit more. He lifts it up a little bit more, and he's talking outside the window. And he was like, yo, like I've been calling you. Why you ain't answer your phone? And then Powder, because I realized that the voice is Powder now. So Powder was like, man, my phone died, bro. He was like, where you been at? Like, you slept outside last night? He was like, man, yeah. Like, yeah, I've been down here all night. So, what's his name? Wayne, he was like, all right, hold on. Like, I'm finna take her to the airport. So, like, we finna come outside in a minute. Like, stay right there. Powder was like, all right, like, I ain't finna go nowhere. So, we finished getting our stuff together. He asked me if I was ready, and I'm like, yeah. So he grabs my bags again, and now we're leaving out of the apartment, and we're going outside to go get in his van so that he can drop me off to the airport. So when we get to the door, like that leads outside, the second door, when we walk outside, Powder is standing right on the side of the door. So Wayne looks at him. He was like, what's going on? Like they dap each other up, and he was like, why did you sleep outside last night? And Powder, he was like, cuz like I came out here to like chill and shit like that, man. And so much crazy shit jumped off, and like I was hollering up at the window, like, but I guess y'all was asleep, couldn't nobody hear me. Like, bro, so much crazy shit happened last night. And you know me, like now I'm starting to get nervous because I'm like, is he finna tell him? Bro, is he finna tell him, like, at least wait till we get to the airport so that he can do whatever, like, he can say whatever he want to say, and then I can still, like, you feel me? I can still catch my plane and go home, you feel me? So, um, by the way, me and Powder, I just looked at him and said hi, and then he said hi back, and that was it, and then he went back to, like, talking to Wayne. So we're walking to the van. I get in the passenger seat, and Powder gets in the back seat. And then Wayne puts my bag in the trunk and stuff like that, right? So, now we're driving. So now we're driving, and Wayne is asking Powder like what happened? Like, why did you sleep outside last night? Like, why you only got one shoe on? And when he said that, I looked in the back and I seen, sure enough, Powder, he had on one shoe on and one shoe off. So he was like, yo, what happened to your other shoe? Like, why you only got one shoe on? So then Powder, he was like, man, I lost my other shoe. Like, I was running for my life last night. So Wayne was like, what? What the fuck happened? So Powder, he was like, bro, remember I was telling you about Alice yesterday? So then Wayne was like, here we go with that girl again. So then Powder, he was like, nah, bro, like, listen. So look, so last night, like, after you had went to sleep, like, she came over with her little friend or whatever. So we was walking around chilling, bro. We was just walking around talking. Everything was cool. Somehow her baby dad found out that she was over there with me. Like, I don't know how, bro, but this nigga found out that she was over there chilling with me. So, boom. After y'all went to sleep around 3, I came outside to just walk around, chill, collect my thoughts, shit like that. Cause, bro, like, I be needing time to myself sometimes. So, I come outside, I'm walking around, and all of a sudden, I see these dudes, bro. I see these dudes walking up to the door. So, me, like, I'm looking because, like, I don't know who these niggas is. I don't know if they on some weird shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So, I'm looking, and, bro, I see that it's her baby daddy. He got, like, 2 other niggas with them. So, as soon as I saw him and he saw me, like, bro, I took off running. Like, so I'm running. These niggas is behind me. They chasing me. Yo, I'm running, I'm jumping over fences, bro. Like, and that's how I lost my shoe, cause I fucking jumped over the fence. So look, I'm thinking I'm getting away, bro. Everything's cool. I turn around and these niggas are still fucking behind me. So yo, I start screaming up to the fucking window so somebody could wake up and open the door for me so I can get away from these niggas, bro. And y'all was asleep, bro. Didn't nobody come to the fucking door, nothing. So Wayne was like, what the fuck? So what happened? So Powder, he was like, man, yo, I'm running around. At this point, I'm literally running around in circles because I don't know where the fuck to go. And then I remember that you always leave the windows down in your van. So I ran over to the van, bro. I fucking hopped in the window. I ducked down in the fucking back seat, bro. Them niggas didn't know where the fuck I went. And yeah, I just slept in there the whole night because I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I was too scared to come out. Like, I didn't know if them niggas was still looking for me. Like, I didn't know what. So I just slept in here all night. So Wayne was like, what? You slept in my truck, nigga? So he was like, man, yeah, like, where else was I supposed to go? Like, them niggas was looking for me. So Wayne, he was like, man, I told you stop fucking with that girl. I told you stop fucking with that girl. He was like, man, I ain't trying to hear all that right now, dog. Like, a nigga's tired. So I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I bet you are tired. All them fucking lines you didn't put up your nose. Like, fuck. I bet he is tired. So now we're still driving, and Wayne, he pulls up to a gas station. He pulls up to the gas station, pulls up to the pump, and then he hops out, right? Now, mind you, when he hops out, I was so fucking nervous. Like, I did not want Powder to bring up anything that happened last night between me and him, especially not in front of Wayne. Like, I didn't want him to say shit. You feel me? And he didn't say nothing either because when I looked in the back seat, like, he was asleep. Like, the nigga was asleep in the back seat. So I'm like, all right, bet, perfect. Hopefully he stays asleep the entire time, at least until we get to the fucking airport. So Wayne comes out the store, pumps the gas, boom. So he gets in, he drives me to the airport. So once we get to the airport, he gets my bag out the trunk, and now, so he's waking up Powder and stuff like that. And Powder was like, bro, he was looking around, he's like, where we at? And Wayne was like, we at the airport, like, she finna go catch her flight. Like, I didn't know if you wanted to, like, hop in the seat or not, like, hop in the front seat. Yeah, hold on, let me get my shit. So then, in his shit was his one shoe. I don't know, y'all. So, like, and I'm just standing there holding my suitcase. I hold on my suitcase because honestly, I was waiting for Wayne to, like, give me a hug goodbye or something so that I can get the fuck on. Like, I didn't want to just turn around and start walking away. Like, I felt like that would have been rude. Powder, he sees me. He says, bye, nice meeting you. I said, bye, like, nice meeting you as well. Me and Wayne, we hug each other. We hug each other goodbye. And he was like, we got to do this again sometime. And next time, I promise you, like, I won't fall asleep so early. I'm thinking, yeah, we do. But in my mind, I'm like, no, we don't, because this is never happening again. Like, so I'm telling him, like, yeah, we do. Like, we do this again. But I'm thinking, heck no. So we hug each other, and then I go to catch my flight, right? So after that, I kind of did and kind of didn't really talk to Wayne like that anymore. Like, we texted each other off and on, but it was nowhere near how it was before because, like I had previously said, like, once all that stuff happened with Crazy, I had made up my mind that I was not going to talk to him seriously. So I already knew that once I got back, I was pretty much going to be talking to him here and there, but I was still going to be doing like my own thing as well because he was obviously not, yeah, no. So, especially after like me and Powder did what we did, like it was a definite no at that point. So, like, if it wasn't before, it definitely was then. So yeah, so we're texting each other here and there. Um, I'm asking him about Powder because I didn't know if Powder had told him because he never said nothing. Because at this point, I want to say months had gone by and he never said anything about it. So I don't know if Powder told him or what. But I had asked about Powder, and he was telling me that he hadn't seen him in a while, and that he didn't really know what was going on with him, and that he was like, "But like, you was here, you know how he is, like the nigga be coming and going." So I just let him do his thing or whatever. So yeah, so after that, nothing really happened too crazy. I started doing my own thing. So one day I ended up getting a text from Powder. So, and it really wasn't nothing too crazy. Basically, him just checking in. Him just checking in, seeing how I was, seeing how everything was going and stuff like that. And then it went from that to sexual. Like, he started bringing up what we did. And I feel like that was very weird because it's like at this point, it's been months now. And now you want to bring this shit up. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it was very weird. So I stopped texting him back. So some more time goes by. So I ended up cutting him off and we ended up not talking to each other because, like, I feel like the type of person that I am, I don't like reaching out to people like for any type of help or anything like that. I would prefer to do things on my own. So I ended up cutting him off. So after I cut him off, I blocked him, like blocked his number, blocked him on social media. So a few months go by and I get a random follow request. So I look at it and it's from, I'm not going to say the name, but it's from a person, but like their profile picture was like a game character. Like it wasn't GTA, but I'm going to use GTA for example. Like it was like a GTA person was like the profile picture. And then because it was Instagram, so all the other pictures were like pictures of like gameplay and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I accept it. I accept it and I get a DM from that same account. Come to find out, y'all, it's Wayne. It's Wayne apologizing, talking about, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry I did you like that. And then I hit him back and I was like, I don't fuck with you because of that. Like, I don't even know why you would decide to make a new page and then try to hit me up apologizing, like, you was wrong for what you did. And then I pretty much explained to him exactly what I just explained to y'all. I was like, if you couldn't help me, then you could have said that. Like, you didn't have to lie. You didn't have to play these back and forth games. And he was like, oh, I had every intentions to help you. It's just that Shorty moved in with like it was like her and her kids. And like at the time, I just wasn't in a position to help you. And I was like, okay, well, like you could have said that. Like, we was just going back and forth. But in my mind, like, and I have a hard time with this, like, hard time, like, I don't want to say forgiving people because I can forgive, sure. But it's like, depending on what you do to me, like certain things, I'm like, okay, well, I can forgive you, but I'll never fool with you again. Like, we'll never be friends again. Like, we'll never talk to each other again, but like, it's no beef or nothing like that. So yeah, I mean that pretty much was it. Like, and he did that a couple of times, like hit me up from random accounts or DMing me from these random accounts, you know, apologizing, saying how sorry he was, saying he wanted us to work it out and like be in a relationship. Like it was just a lot of stuff, but I was just done. Like yeah, no, we're good. Like it's no beef, but yeah, no. Yeah, no. So yeah, so never spoke to him again. And then I ended up deleting Instagram like a few years after that. So I don't even have Instagram anymore. So it is what it is. But yeah, so that was the end of part three of I almost forgot the title of the video. Oh my god. So that was the end of Solo Trip Gone Wrong Part 3. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and thank you for clicking on this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.